It's 1962, in Wilhelmstad, at the candidates tournament. Bobby Fischer sits down at the chessboard with the World Championship qualification on the line. Across from him is Bent Larsen, a creative and profoundly dangerous attacker. Fischer knows he cannot allow Larsen to play a comfortable or strategic game, so he chooses to open with the Scandinavian Defense. The Scandinavian Defense is distinguished by immediately challenging the center, seeking clear positions right from the very beginning rather than accumulating tension. It's a direct and pragmatic opening, with minimal theory and easily understandable plans. In exchange for some initial concession, it provides solidity and strategic clarity, pulling the opponent out of their usual patterns and promoting a practical style of chess, where comprehension is more important than rote memorization. This defense features several variations. However, we will concentrate on the two most significant, namely the classical variation and the modern variation. Let's begin with the classical variation. White occupies the center and develops their major pieces, causing Black to challenge the center immediately without prior preparation. White accepts the challenge and clarifies the central tension. The queen comes out early to regain the pawn and take an active role from the start. Natural development gains time by attacking the queen with knight c3, and the black queen moves to an active square, avoiding further attacks. White establishes a strong central presence and gains valuable space, to which black responds by reinforcing their own center and preparing for solid development. This leads to logical development and a firm control over the central squares. Black then pins the knight, creating early pressure. Bishop c4, an active piece directly targeting the king side. Black consolidates the center and opens lines for their pieces. White castles the king and connects rooks. Given that, Black completes development with a stable position. The classical variation is characterized by the early and active use of the queen, which recaptures the pawn and places itself on a safe square without becoming passive. Its strengths are structural clarity, straightforward and well-defined plans, and a solid position that effectively reduces theoretical complexity. In exchange for accepting a somewhat slower development, Black gains stability, order, and a practical game, ideal for those who prioritize understanding and control over unnecessary complications. Now let's examine the modern variation. White takes control of the center, prompting Black to challenge it right away. The central pawn structure is then established. Black avoids bringing out their queen too early, develops their knight, and prepares to recapture the pawn. The white pieces strengthen their central position, and the black knight then recaptures the pawn from an active square. This allows for natural development and effective central control. The black pieces consolidate the center, thereby gaining crucial stability. Bishop c4, an active piece, aiming at the king's flank. Active development and putting pressure on the knight with bishop g4. White castles and black closes the center, preparing the development of the bishop and castling. White questions the bishop's pressure. Black maintains the pin without weakening. The modern variant of the Scandinavian defense is characterized by not bringing out the queen too early, opting instead to develop the knight to recapture the pawn and gain valuable development tempo. Its distinguishing features include improved piece coordination, a flexible and dynamic pawn structure, and a much smoother transition into the middle game. Compared to other variations, it reduces initial concessions, maintains the typical solidity of the Scandinavian, and opts for practical, active, and orderly chess. If you want a defense that challenges the center from the very first moment, takes your opponent out of their comfort zone, and leads you to direct and understandable positions, the Scandinavian is your best option. Master it with method and turn it into a reliable weapon to compete with confidence. BlackChess Academy, the best chess training.